Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Nelson, Professor of Classics at Pacific Lutheran University. If you're watching this video, you're already several pages into the Sakai course site, but I'd like to go back and review the organization of the site so that you can find your way around easier and understand how the different elements work together. First of all, let's go back then to the home page. The home page gives you information about just the very basics of the course, but also gives you some necessary information about grading and about the sequencing of Latin 111 and 112. You have to go through 112 if you want to go into reading in the 200 level courses, and also that this happens to be the only time in which Latin 111 and 112 is taught sequentially rather than together in an intensive seminar. Something that you may find interesting, if you don't know it already, is that Latin 111 and 112 are also graded pass-fail A instead of straight letter grades, which takes some of the pressure off for learning a language in a short amount of time. Below the home page, you'll find a link to the syllabus, which you should read carefully. It's your contract with the course, and you'll find all the information you need about grading, how to get a hold of me, what kind of assignment breakdowns there are, as well as university policies that govern the course. So read that over carefully and refer to it often if you need to. Below the syllabus, you'll find the beginning of the course formally on a page called Hikinkipit, or like begin here. Well, besides an introduction to me, and then also the preliminary information you need to have before beginning the course at all, there's also a link down at the bottom to creating a profile. This will take you to a Google slide document, and I've asked everyone to upload a picture and put a little blurb about themselves so that we can get to know each other. Following the Incipit document, there is a tab that takes you to the preliminaries page, which is where you found this video. Besides a checklist, there's a short video, you're watching it now, about how to navigate the course site, and also one coming up on how to navigate your book. I hope that will help you find the information that you need quicker and be more attuned to knowing what you are responsible for in each chapter. Below that, there's a section on Latin pronunciation. Fortunately, Latin is pronounced not all that much different than English, although there are some idiosyncrasies that you need to know, as well as how to pronounce some of the diphthongs and vowels and consonants that are different than you might think in English. So take a look at those and practice a bit with the audio files. I think you'll find them kind of amusing, if not interesting. Below the sound check page, you'll find links to the different units. There are 4 units in this course, and each unit has 4 chapters or 4 lessons. Each of those correspond to one of the chapters in Wheelock. So we'll be covering chapters 1 through 16 in Wheelock 7th edition over the course of 111. There are 4 unit pages, and this is the Unit 1 page. All of them are organized similarly. There's a preliminary introduction to what you'll be learning in each of the units, and then there's a link to the help forum if you have general questions about how the course works or about terms or about anything at all other than the homework you're supposed to post in the forum. This is the place to ask it. Either your peers or I will jump in and help you, and I think we can all answer questions together more quickly than all of them coming to me by email. So below the help link, there are the links to the individual chapters. Below the individual chapter links is the link to the test and to the translation, which occur at the end of all of the units. Let's take a look at one of the chapters here. Here's chapter 1. Again, every chapter page is organized in a similar fashion. There's the preliminary introduction that lets you know what you're going to be covering, as well as a list of skill sets that you'll need to develop in order to accomplish the goals and the objectives for the chapter. I've included a suggested order of study to give you an idea on how to most efficiently and most efficaciously complete the chapter, because we're going to be moving at a fairly quick pace, and I don't want you to fumble around trying to find the best way to do things when my experience tells me this is probably it. Below that is a set of requirements. These are the things that you need to do in order to go on to the next chapter. Those include both completing a quiz and also posting to the forum. Something that you want to take note of with the quizzes is that you can redo the quizzes as often as you want up till the deadline so that you can have a better score. That comes in extremely handy if you are having trouble with a concept and you want to take a quiz and you're not satisfied. You can go back and study what you didn't understand and come back and do better the next time. You should be aware that the quizzes draw from question pools, so every time you go back and take a quiz, it won't necessarily be the same questions, although they will be the same kinds of questions. For the forum, you have to post 3 times, twice to post 2 translations of your own, preferably those with which you could use some help, and you have to help somebody else out at least 1 time to receive full credit for participation for the forum. Each chapter is like this, and each chapter with its links to the quizzes and the assignments then post the grades for the assignments to your gradebook, which we can find if we go back over here, like this. Your gradebook will look something like this. Mine looks a little different right now because I'm doing this in April, and I haven't completed all of the sorting of the different quizzes and assignments. But you'll have a set of percentages so you can see what the kind of weighting is, as well as a list of quizzes and tests that will belong to these various categories. Quizzes and tests are recorded immediately, so you'll be able to keep track of your scores. If you take quizzes or tests, and tests can be taken 1 time, can be repeated for 1 time for a better score. The program will record the highest score, so you don't need to worry about the fact that you may not get as good a score on your second try as your first. If that happens, no worries. I record scores for the forums and for the translations so that they will appear here when I get to them, which will be a couple of days after you post them, after you finish with them. Finally, there is a resources section, and that contains not only the resources for the different chapters, all of which appear in the chapter pages, but also some of the audio files for your enjoyment, or if you care to download them onto your computer so that you can listen to them and use them offline. That's sometimes very handy to be able to do. Last of all, we have a mail tool. If you wish to email me or other people in the class, this is a perfect tool to use. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to click on one of the roles here in order to email somebody. I don't know how many times I've written an email and tried to send it, and it's gone nowhere because I've forgotten to actually check one of the boxes for who I'm sending it to. So if you send me an email, this is a good way to do it, and you do have the ability to email multiple people in the class. You should look out for your Sakai email. It will come in as a resource from Sakai, and sometimes it's easy to get lost in the junk folder. And so keep an eye on that and make sure that you don't end up with Sakai messages in your junk folder, or else you'll miss some important announcements. I think that's about it. We'll get back and I'll tell you a little bit about how your book is organized and point out where you find the various information for which you will be responsible. I'll see you in a couple minutes.